Rumor has it who, rumor has it who, rumor has it who, rumor has it who, rumor has it. Part 1. We'll get to part 2.
What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including AEW Dynasty ends with huge fan backlash, Tony Khan defends the awful AEW booking, Drew McIntyre finally reveals the truth, there is real-life hatred between Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton, Swerve Strickland fires shots at a WWE star, WWE's original plans for the Lucha Brothers, Bayley superfan looking for a WWE ID match, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on Wrestlelamia XL. Now let's see the intro and get straight into our first story. Now, first story looks at AEW Dynasty ends with fan backlash. At top of today's news is a controversy surrounding the finish of AEW's Dynasty pay-per-view, a controversy that seems to be the latest debacle for the struggling promotion. The show's main event saw Swerve Strickland challenge Jon Moxley for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, with Swerve looking ready to seal the deal after landing a Swerve stomp on the champ. However, the lights went out with the Young Bucks of Nick and Matt Jackson returning after months off television. The Bucks hit the double V trigger on Swerve, allowing Moxley to recover and pin the challenger to retain. Whilst the finish was shocking, or a swerve, fans were disgusted, booing the Young Bucks and taking to social media to criticize AEW for keeping the title on Moxley. More than a few fans have blamed AEW's current woes, including lackluster ratings and poor ticket sales on the company, continuing to book the Death Riders on top, particularly Moxley as champion. However, as we'll see next, Tony Khan apparently happy with how things are going, as Tony Khan defends the awful AEW booking. AEW President Tony Khan addressed the controversial conclusion to Dynasty, telling the media during the event's post-show media scrum that he takes the fans' negative reactions into consideration when booking AEW. Absolutely, I take that into consideration. We had a lot of great moments for the fans tonight. Swerve was the most popular man in the house tonight. You had two great AEW World Champions having this match, and the return of the Young Bucks spoiled what was a great World Championship match on a night where there were a lot of fan favorite moments. That was obviously not necessarily the outcome that a lot of people were hoping for. Now, as mentioned, fans were furious with the finish. Nonetheless, Khan's comments suggest that he was content with how things played out, as he said, "On the other hand, I do think that Jon Moxley has been, from the very beginning of AEW, one of the most important figures from the very first pay-per-view we ever did. It's very interesting now. This creates a lot of intrigue to having the Young Bucks come back. It's important to remember we have not seen the Young Bucks in almost 6 months in AEW. Tony noted the Young Bucks' role as AEW founding fathers and what they bring to the table. Khan's comments suggest that he thought that their return played upon the brothers' personas and how it can add to Swerve's story of wanting a second AEW World title. To see them come back this way and get involved and break up what could have been a great moment for the fans is consistent with the kind of character we've seen from the Young Bucks in recent years. I would say it creates an intriguing situation. While the Young Bucks' return was a surprise, it proved counterproductive, and it's the latest example of how AEW seems willing to do anything to keep the title on Moxley. Many who believe it is the worst AEW champion so far. While pro wrestling promotions have traditionally made money by having faces chase heels for the titles, there comes a time when a promoter has to take the title off before alienating too many fans. Do you think it's time for AEW to take its top title off Moxley? What did you guys think of the ending of the show?
Well, look, I don't got no beef with Jon Moxley. I mean, I do like him as champ. I do like the Death Riders. But however, Swerve should have won that match. And the fact that you bring the Young Bucks back instead of having them come back after the match just kind of makes no sense to me. I mean, this is definitely going to lead Prince Nana turning against Swerve Strickland. Because the fact that you got the Young Bucks coming back, knowing that you could have done this after the match, just kind of rubs the fans in the wrong way. And like I said, I don't have a problem with this. I just want to know what is this going to lead to. You know what I mean? Hopefully he'll get a second round. I'm hoping Swerve Strickland get a rematch, because the fact that you would even have him lose this match just kind of bothers me, you know? But I do believe that he'll get a rematch. We just have to wait, you know? That's all we got to say on that. We just got to wait, you know? So hopefully, you know, he'll take the titles off of them. But until then, Well, I'm sorry, and until hopefully Swerve can take the title off of Moxley, but until then, you just gotta wait for this storyline to plot out. So I'm willing to wait. But I don't know about the fans. So, but I wouldn't be. Hey, listen, I wouldn't be hating on AEW. I would be hating on WWE because the way they're booking, I mean, they're going downhill too. So I will focus on WWE more than you can focus on AEW. And I don't appreciate people just hating on AEW all because y'all don't like the bookings. But the bookings is much better than WWE if you ask me. So that's just my opinion. But y'all can comment down below. Let me know what y'all think about that. But I do believe he'll get a rematch. I do. And FYI, it's not the end of the world. At some point, he will lose the belt. And when he does, hopefully Swerve will be the one that would take the belt off him. So we'll see how it goes.
Next up, Adam Copeland written off TV after a savage attack. Now, AEW fans may not see Adam Copeland in the near future following FTR's brutal post-match attack on him following their loss to the Death Riders at Dynasty. FTR's Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler said nope to Cope after their loss, with the tag team delivering a spike pile driver to Cope on a steel chair, then clobbering him with concertos. During an episode of the Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer commented on what fans can expect from the aftermath. I don't expect him back until July, so we'll miss the next pay-per-view. I think he'll be out for a while. There's no word on what's next for FTR while Copeland is off TV, or what AEW intends to do once Adam returns. Booking Copeland with a younger AEW talent could elevate them, but it's far too early to tell.
It's weird because when I saw, Adam with these two, I was just like, who the hell are these guys? I mean, I ain't never seen these guys before in my life. I mean, FTR, look, I ain't never seen these guys in my life until I see them with, come with him and try to go after, the Death Riders. So to see them betray Edge, I really don't care because I don't really care about these guys. I don't even know who these guys are. They look like the guy in the bald head look like A-Train. The guy, that he's teaming up with, I can't even compare him to nobody because I don't know who he is. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who these guys are. But the fact that they took Edge out, boo-hoo. But who cares about these guys anyway? These guys are jobbers to me. They're nobodies to me. So to see them get, Edge getting taken out like this, kind of messed up, but at least he'll come back in the summer, so that's good. So hopefully Edge will get well and he'll come back and get his revenge, but I'd rather him to come back and go after John, but we'll let Swerve handle that. Yep.
Next up, Drew McIntyre finally reveals the truth. Three-time WWE World Champion Drew McIntyre is opening about two well-known incidents where he lost his temper for real. Drew recently spoke with Walt Flynn discussing how he's blown his fuse before. Yeah, I try to be professional these days, but whenever I get angry, it ends up on the internet like Drew storms out and is pissed off. And McIntyre looked back at what happened when CM Punk returned to WWE at 2023 Survivor Series saying, the night CM Punk returned, I may have definitely left the arena. I was so angry, not necessarily about that. There were a couple of reasons, with Seth Rollins 20 feet away shaking his fist, getting angry, swearing at him, and me who left the arena because I was actually angry. I couldn't stand that close. But the Scottish psychopath also discussed his blowout at this year's Royal Rumble. At the Royal Rumble, something similar happened. So once every couple of years, exploding enough that it ends up on the internet, it's not too bad, especially for a Scotsman with anger problems. Now, it seems that the reports were 100% accurate, where Drew McIntyre was legitimately pissed off with not getting his spots in at the Royal Rumble and left the arena as a result. It was said that he wasn't too thrilled with his WrestleMania feud going up against Damian Priest.
Well, at least both of them are in WrestleMania, so hopefully Drew and Damian will get a title shot against John Cena, but ain't no way hell they're going to beat him. And if you think Cody is going to win at WrestleMania 41, you're wrong. So we all know Cena's going to win, and when he does, hopefully Damian and Drew will get a shot against him, hopefully.
Next up, a real-life hatred between Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton. It looks like the apparent real-life heat between Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair didn't start at 4th April SmackDown, where both women apparently went into business for themselves, blasting each other with some personal remarks, including Tiffany Stratton mocking Charlotte's 3 divorces. But now it's been claimed on the Wrestling Observer Radio that there's been backstage heat for at least 2 weeks. there have been problems between the two for about 2 weeks, so people knew about it. Now unfortunately, this isn't the first time Charlotte has been accused of trying to make an opponent look bad, and some fans believe Flair is trying to sandbag Tiffany before she can solidify a spot in the main event. At the same time, some fans believe WWE and the wrestlers involved are working the fans to build up the drama for the event. Whatever the case, the Observer brought up what they see as a double standard for how this apparent situation is being handled. And I mean, you can even, one thing about this, it always shows a complete double standard in how people view things. Because if this same thing happened in AEW, while the blame would still probably go on the people in the ring of course, it would largely go on Tony Khan. For if it was him, you've had 2 weeks to figure this out, to get people on the same page, blah 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 blah. And WWE is probably putting all their efforts into making sure that Charlotte, Flair and Tiffany Stratton work hard to keep things peaceful. And the Observer continued on the analysis of what happened on last Friday, saying, and then they went out there and they went off the rails, and both of them did, you know what I mean? It was like Charlotte is getting, or Ashley is getting, more of the blame, and probably deservedly so, but they are both getting blamed for it.
Well, Elite Club SOB pretty much reported that they went off script, and if there's real life beef between these two, I mean, hey, that's what makes the beef interesting. Oh, and feel free to pause this so you can read it yourself. But yeah, I mean, look, that's good because now we got a real life story to tell, on screen. So I think this is a good thing that these two are beefing because then that way we got something to see. I wish Liv and Rhea had a real life beef, but, they wouldn't be working together if they did. But at least with Tiffany and Charlotte, they can at least express it to the fans that what they have is real, but they're going to keep it professional. It's just like CM Punk and Seth Rollins. They're working with each other, but they don't like each other. So, I even found out that CM Punk and Kevin Owens got beef, and I didn't even know anything about that. So I like real life beef. It's just like with Matt Hardy and Edge. Real life beef makes an interesting story. I just wish we could have the same. I just wish Liv and Rio were beefing in real life because then that way, we can have a real life story to tell as well, but they ain't beefing like that. So it is what it is. But hey, hopefully these two can put on a great match at WrestleMania. But as of right now, it ain't looking good. But we'll see how it goes from there,
Next up, Swerve Strickland fires shots at a WWE star. AEW Dynasty featured plenty of surprises, including Swerve Strickland calling out Booker T after Swerve's loss to Jon Moxley. Swerve dropped an F-bomb with Wrestling News reporting, Strickland addressed the live crowd, noting he doesn't speak about representation. He goes out there and proves it. For his own amusement, he said F Booker T. This follows the earlier remarks from Booker T, who reportedly refused to appear on YouTube's Vlad TV, a show Swerve recently appeared on, because he didn't want to be exploited or looked foolish on the show. Booker also said he didn't want any negative comments made about black wrestlers.
Well, we already talked about this already in my last video, so if you guys want to check out my 2 videos that I posted 2 days ago, go ahead and check it out. I'll put the links in the blog so that way you can check it out yourself.
Next up, good news for a SmackDown announcer. That's excellent news for SmackDown announcer as Chris Featherstone is reporting Mark Nash's ring announcing on SmackDown has been highly praised. Doc also learned that they love his energy and are excited to have him as a member of the team heading into WrestleMania. Next up, WWE's original plans for the Lucha Brothers. Did WWE's creative team want to debut the Lucha Brothers of Rey Fenix and Penta El Zero as a team before AEW blocked Fenix from joining his brother in WWE? Well, not according to Fightful select Sean Ross Sapp, who revealed, always is kind of foggy since they were talking to WWE last summer. It was pretty clear to Penta and Fenix that they'd be on different brands in the last couple of months though. Sapp claims WWE is working to book both men as single stars before they join forces.
Yeah, my hope is that Penta wins the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania 41, so that way, Sheamus can get his first ever Intercontinental title, and then hopefully Sheamus can face either Finn or Dom or anybody in the back that maybe Kaiser, you know what I'm saying? I can, take the belt off of him, but at least he'll have his first ever IC belt, you know what I mean? So that can hopefully make up his WrestleMania miss, you know what I mean? So that's what I hope for. So hopefully we can get that at WrestleMania. Otherwise, it'll just be the other way around. But let's keep going.
Next up, Adam Cole wins his first AEW title. A congrats to Adam Cole, who defeated Daniel Garcia at AEW Dynasty to become the new TNT champion. This is Cole's first title in AEW since he jumped to the promotion back in 2021.
Yeah, shout out to Adam Cole.
Next up, Bayley superfan looking for a WWE ID match. It looks like Bayley fan turned wrestler Izzy Morano will have to fight to get a spot in WWE's upcoming WWE ID Championship tournament. Morano made a name for herself as a Bayley superfan who regularly attended NXT shows, is now an aspiring wrestler, and she's ready to make a name for herself by becoming the first WWE Women's ID champion. She tweeted about wanting to enter the tournament, saying, what if WWE ID called me to be in the opening round of the WWE ID Championship tournament at GCW on April 16th in Las Vegas? No more what ifs. Izzy Morano is ready for the WWE ID Championship tournament. However, WWE tweeted that Morano will have to earn a spot in the tournament, announcing, "You have a world of potential, Izzy. However, you have to earn your way into the WWE ID Championship tournament. It'll be Izzy Morano versus WWE ID prospect Zara Zaka at GCW Wrestling presents the ID tournament on April 16th in Las Vegas. This will be a non-tournament match." Now, while the match is a non-tournament match, you never know when opportunity will be knocking, and Izzy could find herself replacing a wrestler who's unable to compete.
Hey, I'm rooting for her, even though I don't know her name. I mean, hopefully she can train, and hopefully she can, make a name for herself, and hopefully she can get something out of that. But yeah, you got to train first and you got to qualify, and hopefully it'll work out for her. I have to go back and check her name, but other than that, hey, salute to your little mama. Hope you make it.
And finally, John Cena's Peacemaker is back. And last but not least, fans of DC Comics' anti-hero The Peacemaker will be happy to know that the series is set to return this year. John Cena, who plays Christopher Smith, The Peacemaker, tweeted a teaser trailer and told the fans, "So excited for everyone to dance again with us. The DC Peacemaker family has such a special place in my heart and really love making this season. Our season is ready to drop on August 21st. Will you guys be watching it?"
Well, he ain't going to be making peace at WrestleMania 41, but let's get back to the intro. Rumor has it who, rumor has it who, rumor has it who, rumor has it. All right, we got to part 1. Now let's get to part 2.
What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including WrestleMania 41 not fully booked, WWE's reaction to Tony Hinchcliffe on Raw was a complete dud, Big E responds to his insults, Drew McIntyre called some wrestlers pussies, the Charlotte and Tiffany Stratton situation has gone 100% worse, the reason why Ric Flair is not allowed to be at WrestleMania, Julia returns to NXT, NXT fans unload on Swerve Strickland, a WWE Divas champion signed to a Legends deal, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on Wrestlelamia XL. And now let's see the intro and get straight into our first story. Now, first story looks at WrestleMania 41 is not fully booked. Now, WrestleMania is fast approaching, and while WWE has announced 11 matches so far, fans want to know whether there will be any more. Well, WrestleVotes discussed the lineup during a recent edition of Sportskeeda's Backstage Q&A and mentioned, so it's definitely not 13. From what I've been told, it's either 14 or 15. Saturday night may make 8 matches, and 7 on Sunday is what I've been told. Now, we're definitely expecting a tag title match to be added to the show, as well as the SmackDown Women's Championship, but what other matches could actually make the show? Do you think 14 or 15 is too many? Let us know in the comments down below.
Well, maybe you could have Lyra and Bayley face each other at WrestleMania 41 instead of being a tag team to face Liv and Raquel. Have somebody else face them. Or you can have, Chelsea Green versus Selena Vega for the U.S. title. Or you can probably, whoever you have win the Gauntlet match, you can also add Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross in that match to where it's a triple threat tag team match. For the women's titles, you can do that. You know what I'm saying? You can do that. I don't know how is that hard to do. I mean, we already heard that the New Day and the War Raiders might be tag teaming. What about, the Street Profits? Would they be able to tag team too? You could maybe have them face, all the teams in SmackDown in a ladder match or something like that. Like, do that.
Next up, Tony Hinchcliffe on Raw was a dud, and Biggie responds. Now it's time to look at a backstage reaction to comedian Tony Hinchcliffe's appearance on Raw to promote his upcoming gig hosting the roast of Wrestlemania on Sunday night after the Showcase of the Immortals ends. Hinchcliffe called the action for a match, but his performance was blasted by some fans online who felt Tony should just stick to stand-up. While there was also outrage over the alleged joke Hinchcliffe made where he mocked both Biggie and Michael Cole by saying the only thing stiffer than Michael Cole is Biggie's neck. But now Fightful Select is reporting on what the backstage reaction to Hinchcliffe's appearance was. Those we spoke to backstage in WWE admitted that Tony Hinchcliffe's spot came across as a dud. Now the report did add that Hinchcliffe was very respectful at the show, but in regards to his joke about Biggie's neck, something Hinchcliffe made light of even though the accident nearly paralyzed him, he mentioned, "I guess at my big age of 39 years old, people will say what they want about you. Their opinion of you has nothing to do with me. It's not my business. Look, say what you want. He was given a mic, he was given an opportunity. People will feel how they want to. It's just, there's a lot of discourse oftentimes as a public figure, people will say things about you, whether they're jokes, whether or not. And that is their right. I think the one thing is, and I get like, I'm on here, it was said on the show, I'm supposed to talk, especially when things are mentioned about me, I should have an opinion on them. It is tiring having to weigh in on everybody's opinion or whatever they say. Look, I'm not hurt, I'm good. I want the discourse to be had without me, honestly. I really have no desire to weigh in on this. I didn't sign up for this. I wasn't aware of this. He did what he wanted to. People signed off on it. It has nothing to do with me, truly. Now, many people believe that Hinchcliffe wasn't even funny and it was the low point of this week's show. Now, the comedian is known for his take no prisoners sense of humor and he's been called out for crossing the line more than once, and you never know what he'll say. WWE knew this when they hired him to host its upcoming roast, so if he says something offensive, they'll have no one to blame but themselves. What do you guys think of Hinchcliffe's comments? Let us know in the comments down below.
I don't really care because honestly, if he's a comedian and this is how he talks, then we shouldn't even be interacting about this. We shouldn't even be talking about this, okay? Because for one, he's a comedian. Number two, we don't even know who the fuck he is. So it's just like, why are we giving him backlash if we don't know who he is? So honestly, I don't care. Let's get to the next one.
Next up, Drew McIntyre calls wrestlers pussies. And Drew McIntyre is at it again, letting the world know how he really feels about something. In this case, McIntyre roasted today's new generation of wrestlers. Drew, who's adopted a Snake Plissken look after an injury to his eye when Damian Priest chokeslammed him into a car windshield, appeared on the Wafflin' Show and he discussed what it would take for him to stop working a match. Unless I was dead, I would continue the match. We've seen guys, Triple H tore his quad off the bone, continued the match and got put into the maneuver the Walls of Jericho, where he's held in a maneuver that hurts your quads in general, and his was not attached. But McIntyre fired off saying that's the kind of mentality most of our superstars have. Maybe some of them, because some of the new guys are freaking pussies. Now, although McIntyre's remarks may seem harsh, he's the type of person who talks the talk and walks the walk. There are many instances where Drew worked with injuries, including neck and back injuries and illnesses with the flu, without any complaint. But do you think he's been a little too harsh? Let us know in the comments down below.
Hey, man, this is why I fuck with Drew McIntyre, man. He keep it blood raw, you know what I'm saying? Like, I agree, man. All these wrestlers, man, they lost their marbles, man. I mean, they're freaking weak nowadays, man. They're sensitive to the toxic, and that's just because of what social media has done to them, you know what I'm saying? But, I have my thoughts, too. Like, I do think that these wrestlers are soft, but, I think the people in the back that won't put Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley in a Hell in a Cell match are pussies. Just because these two can handle pain. They can tolerate blood coming out of their bodies. That they can handle cuts and burns and sores and bruises and and scars. I mean, look at Liv Morgan. She still got bruises on her thighs and her abs. And you telling me that she can't be in a Hell in a Cell match with Rhea? Come on, man. You know that both of them can handle a Hell in a Cell. If Liv Morgan can handle Elimination Chamber match and Liv and Rhea and if those two can handle a War Games match, then why the hell they can't be in a Hell in a Cell match? I mean, the Elimination Chamber is no different. A War Games match is no different. They're both in the cage. So honestly, that's what Hell in a Cell is. A cage. Plain and simple. Hell in a Cell, steel cage match, shoot. Elimination Chamber, War Games match, they're all steel cages. And they can handle that. They can handle blood. They can handle all that. What Drew McIntyre and CM Punk went through, Liv and Rhea can handle that too. This is why, AEW's the shit, because you got Toni Storm and Maya May going all out and they're bleeding all over the place. So that lets you know right there they're savages. And if those two can go through it, Rhea and Liv Morgan can go through it too. So, yeah, I totally agree with Drew, man. Shout out to Drew.
Next up, the Charlotte and Tiffany situation has got 100% worse, as WWE says this was a total wreck. As Charlotte and Tiffany Stratton apparently made things very personal during their 4th April night battle on SmackDown, leading to WWE scrubbing much of the exchange when it uploaded it to its social media accounts. However, fans still looking for the uncensored version can still find it on USA Network's upload. But now a new report from Fightful Select is providing an idea what the backstage reaction was to the spot. The report supports previous stories that many of the remarks were unscripted, including Charlotte making fun of Tiffany's voice and Stratton mocking Flair's many divorces. The segment was described backstage as a wreck, and as you might imagine, backstage officials were trying to figure out what was going on. Now, on a brighter note, Fightful notes that there was no backstage heat between Flair and Stratton when they finished the promo, but Ric Flair says Tiffany's comments were very insensitive. The 16-time world champion commented on the situation as wrestling's dirtiest player in the game told Busted Open Radio, "I have an opinion, but I don't really want to voice it. I can say this, it's very sensitive. I didn't like it, but wrestling is wrestling. I hate when they use me, but Charlotte said it right. You think that's the first time hearing my name?" Flair weighed in on his daughter's wrestling skills, and as far as Rick is concerned, Charlotte, who is closing in on her famous father's record of 16 world championships, a record shared by John Cena, mentioned that Flair is 10 times the athlete that I am, so much better of a worker than I was. I can't do half the things that she does. And he gushed with praise for Charlotte Flair, saying it's not like she's 5'2 and 103 pounds. She's 5'11 and weighs 145 pounds. She works so hard. Undertaker said it best. The Queen came back to regain her crown. She deserves it. She'll be the best worker in the business, female, until the day she decides to retire.
Yeah, shout out to Ric Flair for standing up for his daughter.
But what's the real reason behind Ric Flair not being allowed to attend WrestleMania? Speaking of Rick, will the 16-time world champion, at least by WWE standards, attend WrestleMania 41 to see if John Cena breaks his record by defeating undisputed WWE champion Cody Rhodes? Now, one would think that the Nature Boy would be on hand in some capacity, but that isn't happening, no matter how much he'd like to be there. Ric Flair recently appeared on Busted Open Radio and revealed, "I wish I could say that I was, but I'm not, and I understand why. I'm not mad about it by any means. Every time they talk about the title, my name gets mentioned. They keep me relevant. It's very cool. John is a great guy. Cody is a great guy." A Flair who's held more world championships than WWE recognizes explained why he won't be there. "I work for another company. I'm sure I would be more than welcome. Absolutely, if I wasn't working with Tony, I would absolutely be there. They couldn't keep me out of the building." Are you guys disappointed that Flair won't be able to be in attendance when John Cena breaks the record?
Nah, do your thing, Rick. We got you.
Next up, Julia returns to NXT. A former NXT Women's Champion, Julia returned to NXT last night and wasted no time letting the WWE Universe know what's on her agenda, laying out current NXT Women's Champion Stephanie Baker after an impromptu triple threat brawl broke out. Jordan Grace and Jada Parker were battling to become the #1 contender to Vaquer's title when Vaquer slapped both women, leading to a DQ finish. All three superstars began duking it out when Julia, who's been absent from NXT TV since dropping the title to Vaquer, showed up, dropping her in the process. There's no word if this will lead to a one-on-one match or perhaps even a fatal four-way for the title, but things are really heating up as NXT prepares for its stand and deliver PLE during WrestleMania weekend.
Hey, I just want to say this, man. Shout out to Julia for keeping it 100, talking about no friends, rematch. I respect that quote. The rematch part we can rewrite, but I mean, I love the fact that she said there's no friends rematch, which that means no friends in the industry. You feel me? No friends in this company, no friends in business, no mixed business with pleasure. Shout out to Julia for keeping it gangster. You know what I'm saying? I just wish Liv Morgan would feel the same way, but it is what it is. Shout out to her for, putting that out there. You know what I'm saying? No friends in this business. It's all about gold. It's about accomplishments. It's about the money, and that's what it is. And I wish Liv Morgan would understand that, but that's why I had to make that video to let her know that, look, no friends, get gold. Feel me? You know? That's long term than you being with friends and you being with everybody that you want to be friends with. You feel me? So let's go ahead and keep going, all right? Shout out to Julia.
Next up, Linda McMahon dismisses the Ring Boys lawsuit. Just a heads up, this report contains discussions of sexual assault which may be distressing to some readers, so we do advise discretion. Now, it is time for an update on the current Ring Boys lawsuit against TKO Holdings and Linda and Vince McMahon. Post Wrestling's Brandon Thurston described the basis of the lawsuit, saying, "The former Ring Boys allege former WWF ring announcer Mel Phillips, who died in 2012, actually abused them throughout the 80s. The McMahons were the lead executives of the WWF throughout the decade. With Phillips deceased, the Ring Boys seek to hold the McMahons and the company they founded accountable for what they allege was negligence that allowed Phillips to abuse them." Linda McMahon left her role with WWE in 2009. But now Linda McMahon is looking to dismiss the case, and note this report only involves Linda's legal maneuverings and not TKO Holdings or Vince McMahon's. In a new motion filed Monday, Linda McMahon's attorneys argued that the Ring Boy lawsuit should be dismissed because she has no significant connection to Maryland where the lawsuit is filed. Now, without stepping into a legal labyrinth, the core of Linda's motion is, as Thurston reports, McMahon's lawyers made the argument that she has no sufficient connection to Maryland for the lawsuit to be rightly litigated in the US District Court in the state. If her argument is successful, it could severely limit the plaintiff's ability to bring claims against the defendants elsewhere due to the statutes of limitations in other jurisdictions. Next up, NXT fans unload on Swerve Strickland. It looks like the F-bomb Swerve Strickland dropped on Booker T at AEW's Dynasty pay-per-view isn't going unanswered. WWE fans on hand at last night's NXT show took some time to defend announcer Booker T following Swerve Strickland cursing out Booker at Dynasty. And fan footage has been revealed of the show, and all you can hear is loud chants of "F you Swerve," and Booker was also enjoying the moment, as you can see. While not all AEW and WWE fans are loyal to their brand, with some actually able to enjoy pro wrestling in general, there are many fans on each side who are ready to make their opinions known, whether it's social media or at live events.
Hey man, if you would have heard the crowd last night when he was at AEW, you wouldn't. They wouldn't even think about what happened at NXT. You feel me? Like, I bet you those NXT fans that are saying "fuck you" to Swerve are the same ones that go to AEW and pay for a ticket. So don't even go there, man. All right. Everyone acting like Swerve is canceled. Nah, man, he ain't canceled. He's still out here letting motherfuckers know whose house it is, all right? When you heard Prince Nut, I'll be like, whose house? Guess what everyone's saying? Swerve's house. So he ain't going nowhere, bro. So, yeah, man. Shout out to Swerve and shout out to Booker T. Let's keep going.
And finally, a WWE Divas champion signed to a Legends deal. Last but not least, congrats to former Divas champion Kelly Kelly, as Fightful Select is reporting that Kelly has signed a WWE Legends deal. Kelly last competed at the WWE's 2022 Royal Rumble, but there's no word on whether she planned to return for any more in-ring appearances, but if she's at a Legends deal, you can expect her to appear in the future.
Kelly in the Legends deal. That's good. I wonder if she still got her OnlyFans. I gotta check. But I guess it doesn't matter, right? Alright, never mind. But yeah, man. That's it for the rumors. So make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share if you're new. What do you guys think about this? Pick a topic that you want to discuss in the comment box and let me know what y'all think. Whichever topic it is. I mean, whatever you want to talk about it in the comment box, all right? Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share if you're new, and I'll catch y'all in the next one, all right? I'm out.